Everybody hear me?
Yeah, Joe, I hear you.
Perfect. How you
Gotcha.
doing?
Can you get on that? Can you get on the host?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know how to do that.
All right, just keep it moving. Andy will be on there for a while.
Oh, you're talking to the wrong person about computers. I know
Well,
how to break them like a champ.
Did you enjoy yourself at the party?
Yes, you guys threw a great party. Thank you very much.
Not without your help, honey.
Oh, I just showed up. That was the easy part. You guys did all the hard part. Got some early people on.
Yeah. Well, the website said 6:45.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, this is what, the last one for the whole year.
Yeah, it definitely is. This year went kind of fast, don't you think?
This year flew right by.
Yeah, at least this last month anyway.
I know. Oh, man. Is that Lisa or Brian on the call?
It's Brian.
Oh, Brian. Hey,
Yeah.
I was going to call you guys. I went to look at that house out in Caledonia we talked about.
Yeah.
And what the guy thought was a nice house was the complete opposite. So, you know, he thought a nice house was a house without a ceiling and it needed a brand new kitchen and needed a bathroom and the floors leaned like a champ. And it also needed a post in the basement to raise up part of the first floor. But other than that, he said the place didn't really need much, just a little bit of paint, some flooring. Oh, yeah. And there was also doors missing off the cabinets.
Oh.
But that's all. Other than that, it was just paint. It's ready to, you can rent it tomorrow.
It's funny how that works.
Oh, I drove all the way out to Caledonia for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I meant to text you guys. I completely forgot. I don't want you thinking I forgot about you guys.
No, we're supposed to reach out to you too, so it goes both ways.
Oh, sorry, for at least let you know. So we're still on the hunt. Man. Scott is sick tonight. So I don't know if Andy's even on yet or not. But Scott Spear is not feeling good, so he is sick, but he's in Myrtle Beach. I feel kind of bad for him, but not that bad. Yeah. Is everybody ready for Christmas yet?
What else we gonna get, I guess.
I've not heard one person say yes this whole entire week. That's either asked or answered that question.
Give me 9 more days.
There you go. Oh, man. I know everybody's getting ready. Oh.
Last meeting of the year, Joe.
Yes, it is. Let's see how many people we got on. Everyone's getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's on. We got 6 people right now.
I know. Scott's sick.
We've been sick all week too, so it's been miserable.
Oh, man. Well,
It's going around.
you better wear a mask on this meeting or something.
Yeah, it's the flu. Don't kill anybody unless you're Jim Henson or his son. Then it'll kill you.
Oh, my God. You better take it easy and be careful. Do you and everybody in your family, you and your son have it?
We all had it. He had it first, brought it home from school. I got it Sunday through yesterday, some of today. My wife is still in the middle of it. So yeah, it's fun. Good times, chills, fever, aches.
You did a great job. You did a great job of teaching your son to share.
Share the wealth.
Fantastic.
Yep, share the wealth. Got to do it.
Oh, man. Oh,
It is
man.
what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. At least it was quick. So
you're on the mend?
oh yeah. I worked today, worked yesterday. So
Real estate never
4
stops.
hours with Jake yesterday,
Mm.
working on stuff for year end for FFREIA. So
Real estate never stops.
no.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is that I had a guy that was supposed to look at one of my properties on Monday. Yeah, Monday. Monday morning and this is how dedicated, really crazy it is. Monday morning, it's 4:30 in the morning. He's coming back from Albany. He gets stopped on 490 by the state police. And they mistakenly said that he had a suspended license. Also, it was a complete mistake. Just before he's about to get arrested, he texts me, "Hey, Joe, here's my guy's phone number. I'm getting arrested. Please call him and meet him." So he texted his mom first to let her know what's going on, and he texted me second.
Oh my Lord.
Hey,
That's insane.
you know what? I was like, what? I woke up and I was like, holy crap, and I knew that wasn't a hoax because it was 4:35 in the morning.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Wow.
dedication, man.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Hold on, sir. Don't put the cuffs on me yet. I got to send this text message out. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being able to get on.
Oh yeah. I don't miss these meetings unless I have no choice. Hey, Gabe's on.
Gabe.
I don't know if he can hear us.
What's
yet.
up?
There he
Oh,
is.
man. I thought of you today, Gabe.
That's so sweet.
I almost called you. I told Scott if I called him at the time, you would have heard a grown man cry. It was either
Oh,
you or
boy.
Scott. Scott called. Oh,
What are you?
I had a storage unit. We were like almost ready to go. I'll tell the story during the meeting there though. But
Not one of my leads, is it?
no, and it's local.
Oh, it is. Okay.
I'm so sick. Oh my God.
Hear about it. Oh no.
Yeah, with a whole paper. 800,000. Please.
All right. Just wait.
I'll tell you during the thing. Oh my God. Oh, Scott, I don't know if Scott told you, but he's sick.
That's why they called me today. Okay.
Yeah, he's not feeling too good. He says he hasn't been feeling good the last couple of days, and he's like out of it. He slept 3 hours last night, and he goes, "Joe, I'm not going to add any value to the call." I said, "Listen, man, do what you got to do." I said, "Don't worry about it." He wanted to be on because it was the last call of the year.
Oh yeah.
He was hoping to be on it. So, but he called me about 5:30ish. Said, "Ain't happening."
Oh, okay. Because we talked for like maybe 15 minutes last night, and he goes, "Yeah, I got. Like, we got to talk about this one property. Actually, 3 properties. Actually, he's like, I'll try to call you tomorrow." I'm like, "Try?" I'm like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Something makes sense." So,
Yeah,
okay.
he's sick. So I don't know if you knew or not, so I'm just letting you know.
You should have just told me. I would good. Oh, well.
I didn't know, he could have just texted me. So.
Yeah.
So he called. Besides, we kind of figured it might be a light call anyways. It's the last call of the year. So, right.
Usually it's pretty slow, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
if it's a light call, we'll go as long as we want and then do whatever we want to do.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That works. We can,
Sometimes
I mean, it's 7 o'clock, so, and the meeting's being recorded, so I just have to pull it offline and snip it, stick it up on YouTube after, so. Whatever you want to do, Joe, kick it off. We got nothing
All
to
right,
announce
we'll
other than
kick it
last
off.
meeting of the year.
All right, well, welcome. I think everyone knows each other here. We'll find out here in a second. This is the Aries meeting. Most of us know tenants and toilets, a whole other meeting. We focus here on making money in real estate, and we keep this very open forum. Okay, it's not about just me talking. It's about us being able to network and learn from each other. That's what I love about this, about this group and about this meeting. There is going to be a landlord meeting, but not until January. That's the housing providers. That's going to be the second week,
Second
Thursday.
Thursday. Yep. We have one of these meetings before that happens.
Yes. Yep. And so if you want to talk about tenants and toilets, hold off until the second Thursday of next month.
Yep.
And then there's going to be the main meeting. By the way, do we even know what the next main meeting is going to be about, Andy?
Leon had something picked, but with the new board and the new officers coming in, I am not 100% sure.
Okay.
So I think Leon did have a topic for January and February. He wanted to have those in place, but I'll be danged if I can remember what they are off the top of my head.
No problem.
What I will say is the next meeting will still be at Ferrari's, and I don't think there's any plan to swap that out or change that at all. So I think we'll be good there.
Okay, so, all right, so, and everybody can check the FFREIA website. So with all the changes that's been going on with the board members and the president and everything else, definitely go on the FFREIA website and keep up with the changes that's going on.
All the meetings for all the real estate meetups in Rochester are up on the FFREIA website as well. So I think the Airbnb group is actually doing a meetup at Pittsford Pub on the 22nd. So they're the only real estate event in person between now and 2023.
Okay.
I think they might be doing coffee club on Tuesday next week, but don't quote me. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I think, is that the one on Parcells Avenue or something?
The one at 7:30 in the morning that Greg Taylor and John Wycheck run.
Oh, okay. All right. And yeah, so check on the website, everybody. But there's only a few of us on here, so we're going to keep this pretty extremely casual. Holy smokes, we keep this very casual. So I think I don't know if there's and do you see any new people on here? I don't think there's any new people, right?
Let's see. Brian and Lisa, I know. I'm not sure who Danielle is. I know Dan Yates. She's on. I don't know which Jay that is because there's no last name. So Jay might be new, but I don't think so. And Danielle, I don't know.
I'm on every month.
Oh, that's Jay Molis. He's here.
Yeah.
He's not new.
Yeah.
No, I know he's not new. I just didn't. There was no last name, so there's a million Jays out there.
Yeah.
Danielle is new. It's me and my husband Ryan on.
Well, Danielle, introduce yourself real quick and what are you looking to do in real estate?
So I'm here with my husband Ryan. We recently moved back to the area from Jacksonville, Florida. So we are looking to invest in real estate, whether that is either long-term rentals or doing some flips. We've we bought pretty much 4 homes throughout so far. We've kind of like bought at a discount, rehab them, live in them, and then have sold. So we have some experience just doing that, but overall just pretty beginner for investors. So we're just kind of looking to just get any advice or just kind of see, pretty much just getting started.
You're in the right place. This is a good meeting for it because this is where deals happen and you can ask a ton of questions without having to worry about anybody thinking they're dumb. There's no stupid questions in this meeting. So
Perfect.
I will say that depending on your location, where you want to buy property, landlording and operating properties has become more difficult in Rochester, in Monroe County specifically. The suburbs don't have as many issues, but there were some laws passed in 2019 that made life of landlords very, very hard. And this meeting is not tenants and toilets,
Correct.
but I will say that it did crush a lot of dreams. And
Yeah,
caused
that's
a
what
lot of
we're
people to
finding
lose their
out.
butts. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
and
of
a big-
people lost their butts because of that law during the pandemic. And I will say, Joe LaBarbera, you got your ears on?
Yeah.
There's going to be an announcement end of next week about the evictions potentially speeding up across New York State.
Wow.
Keep your ears open because there's an announcement coming, but I can't say what it is. But it's good. It's a good one.
And by the way, first of all, Danielle, and I didn't get your husband's name.
Ryan.
Ryan. Well, oh, there you guys are.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
welcome. Glad to have you guys here. And and for any new people, we try to keep this interactive and we try to give the best advice we can. And this is to everybody. Make sure you consult your attorney and make sure you consult your accountant. Don't take what we say as gospel. What may work for us may not work for you, and vice versa. Okay, but welcome to the call. What I'd also, and then also just out of curiosity, well, actually, no, because you guys are here in Rochester, so you guys are buying in Rochester, right?
Yeah, we're currently in Farmington.
Oh, okay, all right, perfect. I'm actually looking at a house out there. So what we like to do real quick, and this is a small group, we do what's called haves and wants. If you've got something you're looking to sell or something that you want us to look for, this is for everybody, let us know what the heck you're looking for. Because if you don't tell us, we're not going to call you because we're not going to know. And we're going to call somebody else who did tell us. Okay. So if anyone wants to let us know what you guys want, put it out there real quick. We got some shy.
This is Brian. I'll jump in
Go ahead,
quick.
Brian.
Brian, my wife Lisa, she's upstairs. Looking for our next property to do probably a fix and flip, maybe a fix and hold, if it depending on the situation. But pretty much anything single family, single, duplex, triplex, whatever. But look at anything for the next to fix and flip, most likely.
Perfect. And by the way, everybody put your information in the chat box. So that way we can actually be able to call each other if we have something, please. Who else?
So I guess for us, it would either be a fix and flip or a fix and long-term hold. We just lost one. We were second. So,
Okay.
well, we lost two. One,
Now,
we weren't in the running, but.
Do you guys look for city, suburbs? What do you guys look for?
We haven't explored city, I guess more suburbs. We've been Fairport and the recent one was Victor.
Okay.
But we're not opposed to, I guess, any area. That's also kind of what we're getting more familiar with as well.
All right. Well, because I know you guys are out in Ontario County, but you're so close to the border. I assume Canandaigua is also going to be one of the areas too that you guys will look at too.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Who else? It's almost Christmas. What's your wish list?
Joe, I'll go, guys. I'm Gabriel. You guys know me. I'm looking for self-storage anywhere in the U.S., even in the local Rochester, Greater Rochester area as well. Anything, I would say anything, ideally anything 10,000 square feet and above, that translates to about 70 doors and up. Any condition, anything. I don't care if they have a website or not a website, or if they're automated or not. numbers are numbers to me. And if it works, it works. And we'll do what we can to take it down. I've done quite a few deals already, so I'm almost sort of experienced in it. So I'm still learning as well. So but the more the merrier, and it's gonna be a great year. So I'll leave my name and number in the chat box too. Thanks, guys. Forgot that.
Perfect. Who else?
We're up to 11 people now. So we got a couple extra joined. I don't recognize Brent. I don't know Brent, so he's probably new. I think everybody else has been in. So
Oh. Brent, are you new?
I am. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, real quick.
loud and clear, you're good.
Introduce yourself and what are you looking to do in real estate?
Sure. My name is Brent McCann. I have no idea what I want to do in real estate, except I just want to learn stuff right now. So I'm in the absorbing stage.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Good
Great
meeting
to have
for
you.
it.
So thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. We're just doing really quick haves and wants right now. And then we're gonna, for those of you who just joined us, I mean, most people know we like to keep this live and interactive. Okay, this is like the last meeting of the year. And because we're so close to Christmas, there's not as many people on here. So this will be great just to be able to really be completely casual. So it's gonna, I like these types of meetings. Anyone else looking to letting us know what you want? If you don't tell us, we're not going to call you. We're going to call somebody else who let us know.
Hi, guys. It's Tracy here. I'm growing my buyers list. So just looking for cash buyers right now.
Awesome.
Perfect, Tracy. Welcome, Tracy.
Thanks.
Everybody, if you want to be a cash buyer on her list, stick it in the chat box and she'll take it. I'm sure she won't say no to more contacts.
I will not. True story.
I'm gonna go, for me, I'm looking for storage. I am doing commercial and residential properties. I will do city suburbs. I buy, hold, fix, flip, and I do wholesaling. So I run the gamut. So I look at all types of properties. I don't care if they're $20,000 properties or if they're $2, $3, $4, $5 million properties. The numbers work. I'm in. That's my Christmas wish list.
Speaking of the numbers working, not to interrupt.
Yeah.
Dude in Texas and Houston is trying to do a multi-family at $600K a door.
What?
I said I want to see I swear to God, I'm like I want to see trailing 12 and rent rolls, please, because I don't know how the math works.
It must have gold toilets and
that's what I'm saying. $600K a door.
It must be built on top of an oil field. It has to be.
I don't know. It's insane.
When I
It's
turn
insane.
the faucet
See what
on,
they
will
get for
oil
rent.
come out? Will oil come out if I turn on the faucet, Andy?
I hope so. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how many doors are there in this place? This is insanity. Anyway, I digress.
Wow. All right. Who else got it? Who else? Let us know here.
This is Diane.
Hey,
Yeah. Hi. And I'm looking for 4 family, 5 family, however many. And that's my wish list. And I do have 7 acres of land in Sodus. It's undeveloped, but it's on a really nice creek, wooded. So if anyone's just looking for land to build something, I have that available.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay. And by the way, I may have a property that's going to be available in Greece. It's a rental. If anyone's interested, it's probably going to be somewhere around the 70K mark. It's rented out at only $800 a month. Basically it's a 2-bedroom house, but it's in Rochester, Greece border. So if you're interested, get a hold of me and I can send you details. Okay. And the rent should be easily over $1,000 a month there. No problem.
How many square feet?
Oh, it's small. It's like, I think around 800.
Wow.
It's tiny, but the guy did a ton of work to it. Ton of work. Everything in there was redone. So
awesome.
When he added it, and now it's been a rental for the last 7-8 years. But,
wait, Joe, did you say it was all redone? Is that what you said or not?
Yeah, it had been redone. And it used to be a 3-bedroom. The guy took all the walls out, opened it up, made the upstairs a giant bedroom. There's a small bedroom on the first floor. So, you know, the numbers work on it pretty good. So if anyone's interested, give me a call.
Cool.
Who else?
You should throw that one at Jake and Kayla. It might be on the wrong side of town for them, but you should throw it at them. Bet you they would be interested.
Didn't think of that. All right. Thank you.
They got 15 more they're about to close on like in the next couple weeks. So
They
that'll put
are
them
kicking some butt, man.
that'll put them over 75 when they close that deal.
75 units or properties?
75. I mean, most of them are single family, but 75 doors they'll be at. And then I think they own 49 of those, and they're gonna own this next set of 15. So
Good for them.
leaps and bounds.
That they've done that in how long of a time now?
2 years, I think.
2 years, 75. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. It's a few a month.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, every couple of weeks,
Absolutely.
every 14 days.
Yep.
Yeah. Who says there's not deals out there? All right.
Absolutely.
Who else? Everybody's got their Christmas wish list. Perfect. Did I forget anything, by the way?
I don't think so. I think we're
Okay,
good.
all right, perfect. All right, so look, we like to keep this live and interactive and be able, if people have any questions, if you have, whether it be about a deal you're doing, or if you have a question about possibly maybe going in a different direction in regards to real estate, you know, don't be afraid to ask here. Okay, this group is, and this meeting is meant specifically for that. You know, and the other thing too, we try to tailor it around with what's been going on in the market, what's been happening. And a lot of the phone calls that we get, we figured if we're getting these phone calls, there's probably other people also, you know, wondering and thinking about the exact same thing. So before we even get anything, does anyone have anything that they'd like to ask, anything they want to go over? This is the place. Don't be shy.
I'll jump in real quick with the lead or a question. I think it may have been asked last time. I'm not sure. Has anyone had any success on MLS? Like maybe focusing on stuff that's been out there for 45 days, you know, stuff that has price reductions. Anyone have success? And I'm wondering if you hear any strategies of people focusing or a strategy of working from MLS.
I only buy, well, most except for one. Well, it was on the MLS too, an auction house. They advertise it on the MLS. So everything I've bought has been off the MLS. It's just a matter of looking to see what's out there, what, you know, and, you know, looking at different houses and things and stuff, and, you know, figuring out what the price range you want and getting the right search criteria. You know, a lot in general, a lot depends on, you know, depends on how much you're working it versus you're relying on a real estate agent to work on it. You know, basically all the houses that we have gotten, we've basically told the real estate agent to, you know, that this is what we want to look at, or that we want to look at, and that kind of thing. So we've kind of driven it. But now I have my real estate license now, and, you know, me and Vanessa, and they, so we do it ourselves now, but it's, you know, deals are out there. It's, you know, and actually, to tell you the truth, any price quotes I've gotten from, you know, wholesalers or flippers or whatever, have been much higher than what I've seen on the MLS to begin with. So in general, so, you know, you got to be aware that the deals are out there. You just got to look for them.
So Brian, also to add on to that, Brian, I got a friend of mine who's been buying off the MLS also. I think he's probably done around, I think somewhere around 20 properties, give or take, just off the MLS. And so what he's been doing, he's got a real estate agent who's also scouring it for him. He'll go in, he'll put in multiple offers. Obviously it's a numbers game. And, but you know, he's got a specific criteria. And then he'll make sure if they're, like, for him, anything over 30 to 45 days, that's anything over 45 days he's even more excited about. But he's been finding some pretty good success with that. So he'll buy them, he'll fix them up. You know, some of them are in the city, so they're not, you know, they're not like, you know, he doesn't have to compete as in regards to as many owner occupants. But he is definitely finding stuff on the MLS. Is it harder? Yes. He'll spend sometimes, you know, sometimes he'll spend like an hour, hour and a half doing it. But for him, it's all about, you know, he doesn't mind making, you know, $15,000-$20,000 on a flip, but in the city, he's spending less and making higher rate of return. And I know another guy, he scours the MLS. He'll do a couple of deals a year, but he focuses on the higher end properties. And his thing is that, you know, if he's not making $60,000, he's not even going to touch it. He has other stuff going on. So for him, if he does two, he's happy. Whereas my other friend, you know, in order to make what the other gentleman who wants to make two on, you know, he's got to do a way. He's got to do like, I don't know, 6 or 7 compared to doing just 2. Okay. And Brian, you guys are focusing on a little bit better properties, right? You guys are focusing on, is it for rentals or is it for flips?
I mean, it probably depends on the property. Like if it has like lower taxes in a decent area, well, I guess area doesn't matter. If it's lower taxes, I definitely consider as a hold, kind of like almost like do a burst strategy. So I think it's dependent upon, you know, kind of the details of the property.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, have you reached out to other real estate agents that will scour for you?
We have a guy, it's kind of just a new strategy I've been considering. That's why I was curious to poking around if anyone's doing it, what success they've had, etc. So I'm just kind of dabbling in that kind of concept.
There's more and more. I'm sure I'm not the only one seeing it. There's more and more coming on the MLS. Yes, there's still a shortage of properties. At the same time, the ones that are selling, and I'm seeing it all the time, price reduction, they're out there. And of course, you know, I'm still seeing some people that are actually getting multiple offers. It's the craziest thing. But I don't focus on the multiple offers. I never want to, especially if I'm buying a property, make my minimums, my maximums, and anything I do on the MLS. 99% of the stuff I get is not on the MLS. At the same time, I'm still looking on there. I mean, who else? Is anyone else getting anything off the MLS?
So that's what we're utilizing right now. So I guess our question would be, how do you go about finding properties not on the MLS?
You come to this meeting and ask. So in Rochester for real estate investing, probably 40% of all real estate deals never make it to the MLS. So in real estate investing, it's probably actually like 70%. But in Rochester, real estate sales, probably 40% of them are off MLS. So there's one real estate agent who's a member, and she's at, what was she at, Joe? Isn't she at, is Colleen at like 370 or 380 now?
Something, I don't know. She's like way up there for properties this year alone that she sold. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
completely nuts.
yeah. So Danielle, it's getting in the right circle of people. And then also wholesalers, you know, there's a bunch of wholesalers usually on here. I know I do a ton of wholesaling. There's other ones on here probably also that you can also connect with. You know, and then some people don't want to deal with the marketing part. You know, a wholesaler comes in, or like me, we'll come in or we'll find properties, you know, and then we'll wholesale it out. You know, we ended up getting a perfect example. We ended up locating a house, a 2-family in North Winton Village, up and running, occupied, worth $230, $240, $250. I don't know. We got it for $115,000. Okay. So then it's a matter of, okay, how much would it cost someone else to find that property? Or is it worth paying a wholesaler a wholesale fee and still be able to have a huge spread on the property? You know, some people I talk to, I'm not paying a wholesaler, but they're paying $2,000-$3,000 a month just to find a property. You know, and if it takes them 4 months they've already paid eight to $12,000 already just for the fee. Okay. So, and then also getting within this group, just like Andy was talking about, that is the best way, because there's people on it who are constantly buying and selling, and we'll find stuff that we don't want or need. Like, oh, Danielle, her husband, they want properties. I'll have to call them, see if this might be something for you. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
And the thing is that what I tell people is that when you're out there looking for properties yourself, your time is like this. It's, you've only got a certain amount of time. When you have people calling you for the properties, that's when your business will do this, because you're not out there searching for it. The properties are finding you. Okay. So get in touch with wholesalers. By the way, if anyone wants to add on anything to that, please add on, whether it be to Brian's question or even Danielle and her husband's question. Everybody's good? All right. Who else? Did anybody else have any other questions you want to ask?
Actually, question about a deal that I'm working on. I mean,
Go
that's
ahead.
okay. All right. So I never dealt with this before, so that's why I'm asking this question, and I'm going to explain why. So I got this. There's this property in storage facility in Nebraska, Gosport, Nebraska. Let me give you a little bit of background on this thing. It's 14,000 square feet, 111 units. I called him last month and left him a voicemail, and then he called me back a couple of weeks ago, responding to my voicemail, returning my phone call, saying, "Okay, I didn't call you last month, but now I want to sell." Okay, great, let's talk, and stuff. And we went on and on and on. He gave me his numbers. He gave me all the information, the necessary information for us to underwrite the property. And he and I spent at least an hour, going over his expenses, because there's some discrepancies in that and stuff like that. So we spent an hour this week 2 days ago on the property. And so now I got it all, honed in on what we want to do. So he nets, right now, his net income is about $43,000 a year.
Wait. Is NOI?
I'm sorry, it's NOI. I apologize. Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, that's net operating income for everybody who don't know. That's gross income minus all your expenses, and that's what you have left over to either pay your mortgage, or if you pay all cash, that all goes in your pocket. Sorry to interrupt you, Gabe.
No. I apologize for not explaining it well enough. I'm sorry. So this guy has, like I said, net NOI is $43,000 a year. Now, on top of his expenses and all on income and expenses that he gave me, he also gave me his own projections. Now, let me go backwards for a minute more. He's owned the property for 9 years, has not raised rents a single bit since he owned the property.
Wow.
Yeah. So here I go with my own projections, because I hate to admit it, but I can do this stuff in my sleep now. But I have my own projections. So I shared it with Scott, we're going over and stuff like that. But the thing is this, though, is, okay, so his projections says that his NOI in the next year will be $54,000. So he says, based on that, I go, so what price? I mean, I'm asking him what kind of price you want to sell it at. Where do you want to be? He goes, well, if I'm going to net $54,000 next year, I'd like to set it right around an 8 or 10 cap. So I'm thinking, okay, let's go extreme 10 cap, $540,000, because that's our goal. That's what we do all the time. Now, the thing is, though, it's at $39 a square foot if we do 540, which isn't terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I dealt with people before when I asked them how much you want to sell property for, and they gave me stupid prices like, at $65-$70 a square foot, which is like, you're nuts. Go,
And by the way, for people who don't remember, there's not a lot of people who do self-storage on here. Typically, Gabe and Scott want to buy them for around no more than $40 a square foot maximum, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So just so that way, just so people know, because you and I understand this, but not everybody does. I want to be respectful here to everybody. So I apologize for interrupting you. So go ahead.
Apologize for that. In any event, though, The thing is, though, is how do I talk to this guy? I mean, because here's the deal. If I was to say to him today, look, to leave enough meat on the bone, if I was to say to him, if I'm gonna offer you, let's say I was gonna make him a cash offer, I will give him $350 to $395,000 cash. Just to leave enough meat on the bone and to get my fees and walk away and stuff like that, you know, because there's not a ton of CapEx that needs to go into it, by the way. He's got cameras, he's got lights, he repainted the place, new doors, all of this stuff is pretty good, you know, the gates running and all that stuff.
So it's turnkey.
Pretty much, yeah. Except he doesn't have an automated website to collect
Rents.
yeah. But the thing is, look, my question today would be this though, is how do I talk to this guy to tell him, listen, these are, I mean, because when we buy properties, everyone knows, or almost all of us should know that when you buy property, you want to know about today's dollars, what it is today. I don't care what it's going to do 2 years from now. That's my job. And then, and matter of fact, that's all speculation because we don't know what it's going to do. It's like, I'm not going to go to buy a car, you know, it's going to be $15,000 tomorrow, but it's $10,000 today, you know? So my question is this, is that how do I explain to this guy or talk to this guy to get in the conversation of saying, listen, buddy, you know, you can't sell it on what it's going to be in you know, in the future. Can't do future value dollars, you know? I'm looking for what it is today.
Did he explain how he was getting to the new number? Like his projection was great, but how did he get there?
I'll tell you how he did. First of all, well, this is kind of weird because I was looking at his projections and some of his expenses went down, like his property tax, which never goes down. His utilities stay the same. He might, I'm not sure if he mentioned about raised rents or not, but some of his expenses were going down. And I'm like insurance and property tax, which is the biggest thing.
Those always go up.
Those always go up.
You know, so I need to maybe have another conversation about this, but when he told me that, I'm like, I don't know where he got this idea that he wants to sell for 540, you know, well, around a 10 cap. I mean,
you know, if he got your voicemail, he may have gone and done research on the whole self-storage investing movement and just saw what the going rates were and said that, well, that's what I think I want to get for it.
Possibly, yeah.
And he's just winging it to make his numbers work because right now the property doesn't operate at that. So you have to work off real world numbers. Like it's cool that he thinks it's going to be there. I'm sort of a dick, as everybody knows. So my thing would be, okay, well, you get it there next year and we'll talk next year once you're actually at that.
Right.
And I'll pay you that for it next year.
Right.
But if you want to sell now, I'll give you $375 and I'll give you cash and we'll close in 30 days.
Right.
Well, let me ask you a question too on that, because I mean, I understand what Andy's saying too. And then also, what, you know, Gabe, what do you think you could get this property up to?
With my, actually I have it right here in front of me, believe it or not. And
Can you get it higher than $54,000?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course I can.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. How much higher than that can you get it?
About 599,000, 600,000.
So 600. So no, all right. No. I'm talking about the so you can get the NOI up to about $60,000 a month. You said 599 to 600,000.
Let me go back.
60,000. Yeah.
I get the NOI to $53,000 a year. So at an 8 cap or a 9 cap, that'd be 599. So I'm sorry, it didn't.
Okay,
really
that's all right. So maximum this place is worth about $600,000.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, Andy is right. He's kind of selling on the future. And again, the problem is that you're also fighting against demand because somebody's going to buy that. Okay. You and I know somebody's going to buy that even right now. So what would the cap rate be if you bought it right now at the 540? 7 or 8 cap?
No, 10 cap. Actually.
No. Right now it's making 43,000.
Yeah, 7 or 8 cap.
So it'd be about 7, which is not great. It's you're almost paying retail for it. You're buying the future on it.
I know.
Man, it's That's the only problem. The thing is that somebody, you know, he knows he could sell it. Maybe you could talk to him and say, look, you know, instead of, you know, maybe you can split the difference instead of
Yep.
540. Maybe listen, you know, I can't foretell the future. Stuff's going on, stuff's happening with the economy, you know, interest rates are going up, and, you know, our goal is to be able to go in there and refi this thing out. And, you know, you know, I have to be able to make the numbers work for ourselves and for the bank at the same time. I want to be able to, I want to make sure it works for you.
And yeah, storage is taking a beating right now. It's because you can tell, because all of a sudden Mike Wagner is talking about the down economy and people not spending money, and storage business is starting to slow down as far as acquisitions and stuff. So definitely need to, like, storage has been hot for 3 years now. The interest rate thing and the coming, you know, recession, people are crapping their pants. They don't know what's going to happen. To Joe's point, capitalize on that. Just be like, you know, go watch Mike Wagner's last couple videos, because that's all he talked about was how crappy things were, and just find the right deal, make sure the numbers work with the declining economy, declining property values, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You know, and when you talk to him, don't use the word I. When you talk to them, say, look, you know, we have to deal with the banks, and you know how they're going to be, how difficult the banks are to deal with, and they know what's coming on. They're telling us this. They're telling us be prepared.
This is this problem, though, is that he was a banker for 32 years, but he knows how to hide cash. In other words, a lot of his expenses were his personal expenses that he wrote up on the facility, and he did a lot of cash payments. So that means his tax returns, if we show it to a bank, will not reflect what he's truly making.
Yeah.
So, okay, now we got two options. I said to him, we have cash and we have owner financing. Take your pick. You know, I didn't say it like that, but I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's all we got right now, because we can't do bank financing. There's just no way about it. And he understands that. So now that we're talking cash owner financing, now there might be a little bit of wiggle room, I guess, you know, because because of that, the fact that he's not, you know, declaring everything, and that's fine. I don't care. I used to do it in my restaurant. I know how the game works, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
So he's writing off that. So the difference in between the 43,000 and the 53,000 is the 10 grand a year of personal expenses he's burying into the business.
Essentially,
he's not planning on raising rents next year.
Right.
So he's actually just crooked as fuck.
Exactly, Andy. Well said.
Perfect. That's great. There's a price for that, you know. It's called, how about I don't turn you into the IRS and collect that $7,500 reward?
I know.
Well, you know, you could also tell them, say, listen, all these years you've made your money and then some by obviously hiding the money, you know, and say, look, it's none of our business. But, you know, if he holds paper, you go down on the price, say, look, we'll make sure we'll make up for it with the interest on the back end. You know, if we do a 5-year note, find out where you need to be able to get them there.
I was gonna offer him like a 15 or 20 year owner financing with a 10-year balloon or something like that, you know, with $200,000 down. We still cash flow, you know. That's what I figured out this morning. I was running the numbers this morning. I'm like, you know, that seems viable, but at 0%, mind you. I don't want any, because the interest, you know, I'm gonna tell him, if I offer him $450,000 between 450 and 540, that's your interest payment right there. So let's do 0%, you know. So just for example, because that's what it's going to be like, you know. That I didn't tell him that yet, but that's what I'm planning on telling him, because that's what I've been sort of training to him. Now, the thing is, though, is that I talked to this guy about our expenses and what we had to put into. He goes, well, I'm not going to subsidize my own projections and what I want for you, what you want to do with it. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? What is that supposed to mean now? You're not going to bend over backwards, or you're not going to work with me at all? No. Now we're going to stalemate now? Jeez. So
you know, the other thing too, he may get a little nervous if you have to go to the bank and he has to show his tax returns, because his tax returns won't support that, from what you're telling me, that purchase price, that $540,000, it won't support it. The bank's going to be like, you got to put up a heck of a lot more cash. And by the way, unless someone goes in there and gives him cash, and he's gonna have the exact same problem with somebody else.
Yeah, I know.
And sometimes, you know, T and C hasn't hit him yet, time and circumstances. I mean, you know, I'm not,
It has in the sense that last month I called him, left the voicemail, and then this month he calls me because he's ready to retire now and liquidate his assets.
So have you gone to their county website and pulled his actual property taxes on that lot?
Yes, I did.
Do they line up with next year's numbers or with this year's numbers?
With neither.
You said he changed his projections and he was planning on the top property taxes going down. That would get reflected, right?
Right, exactly. And then none of it lines up with anything, basically. I mean,
Okay, so I mean, I would almost have like, I don't know. It sounds like he's playing games and trying to cash out for the value of a complete project, and it's a half complete project, which means that's not what it's worth. Like,
Right.
the numbers are the numbers. Like, here's your property taxes. They're not changing. This is what it is. Your projections are wrong, and your operating statement is wrong. So this is the number. So now I want to see your utility bills.
yeah, but
I want to see your, you know, your maintenance, not like, I want to see actual dollars that have been spent, or I'm going to keep reducing the value of this deal. Like, I'm not going to pay you more for freaking pixie dust and wishes. Like, you're not going to freaking fart glitter and pixies your way to success. The numbers have to work.
Well, yeah, but Andy, you also got to be careful too, because this guy, I mean, there's still people buying them, but I mean, I would do exactly what Andy's talking about. Just don't do it in an adversarial way. Say, okay, listen, okay, if that's what you want, I need to be able to figure out the real expenses to support that. And then you could say, hey, look, I'm having a problem here. I need your help. You're saying the taxes are going down, but I called the county, taxes are going up. And by the way, when they found out I may be paying $540,000, all of a sudden they started seeing dollar signs, and they told me that expect your taxes to go up.
Yeah.
And then, then you're like, oh, so how did you come up with that, Mr. Seller? I just need to know, because am I missing something? And then just let him implode himself.
I know.
I don't trust that guy. I'm a 1% doubt, I'm out type person. And he's all about him and the most he can get. And I understand it, he has a right to do that, but I think he's going to put you guys in a position, unless you guys are going to hold this thing forever, you're not going to have much equity. If you can raise the rates where your NOI is going to be $65,000, $70,000, then that place will be worth around $800,000+, give or take. But I mean, a 10 cap is $70,000, it's worth $700,000.
Yeah, is he like, do you know what you could raise it to? Is he like the only show in town? It's Nebraska. I know nothing about Nebraska. Is he like the only show in town? Is he priced competitively, or is he low? Like,
It depends on the unit size. Like his 5x10s, he's priced a little bit at or above. His 10x10s, he's actually below, and his 10x20s, he's actually below, or actually pretty much level 2. But the problem is that it's an oversupplied market with all the facilities being full as well.
there's another reason it gets less money. I mean, if it's an oversupplied market, then it's worth less because there's tighter competition, lower return on investment. So there's another check against the guy.
And Gabe, what are you guys planning to do with this? You guys looking to wholesale it out, or are you guys going to keep it and flip it? What was your plan with it?
I wanted to wholesale it out because I want my next, for my goals, I want my next to be wholesaled and then go further from there for buy and hold. So
Okay.
I want these next two deals to be.
So at the 540, there's no meat left on that. There's
No.
There isn't.
It's retail. No one's going to buy that. So you're trying to bend the numbers. I'm not telling you to not do the deal. I'm going to tell you, I'd have a nice conversation. I'd have exactly what I'm talking about with the taxes and insurance. I'd be like, listen, I talked to my insurance person. They gave me this quote for this price. Who's your insurance guy? So I can talk to them. Because I'd have to go through your guy and see what he can give to me. And 99.999 times out of 10, or 99% of the time, they always raise the rate, especially on a new owner, especially since you're going to have to you're asking me to pay more, so they need more coverage, gonna need a higher umbrella, higher blah, 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 blah. So that way, it's not you, it's they, it's them.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. Saturated market, higher insurance, higher property taxes. Like you're looking for some meat on the bone, and there's nothing there.
he's
Just
sucking
be
the
honest
marrow
with
right
you.
out of the
You know,
bone.
ask
He's
the
eating
questions and just say, you know what, it's a little too expensive for me right now. If you're still sitting on this in a couple months, give me a call if anything changes, and we can talk. But I can't go higher than. Put your number out there, 375, 390, and be willing to walk away from it. The guy sounds like a freaking shyster.
Well,
You don't
no,
want to go into a deal.
but it's just like, why are you playing me? I hate that when they think that this is my first rodeo. It's like, don't do this.
Well, it's because there's a lot of people out there where it is their first rodeo, and they think they're going to find that sucker. There's a sucker born every day, Gabe.
Chris here. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
don't
think
be
they're
a
going to
big
find
round,
something.
don't be a big round thing on a stick, a sucker. That's not us.
Yeah, I don't have time for this shit. You're right.
I'm not trying to kill a deal for you, but for me, what I've had to say, look, if I can't make the numbers work, I'm trying to make the numbers work, and I can't. I you're not helping me. And so you just let them know you're going to walk away or whatever. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. That's up to you. I don't want you to lose a deal. Say that rat bastard Joe told me to walk away. I'm just telling you what I would do. And storage is still, people are still buying them. But I mean, let us know what happens with that.
I will.
And then maybe. Have you thought about putting a three-way call between you, him, and Scott, bringing in a third person?
Not yet, but I will.
Yeah, I mean, afterwards, it's just like,
Make the we actually mean something.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, is that what Scott, what he likes to do is our typical jobs are like, I get the deal, I get under contract, and then he handles all the rest of it from there. So like, here's his contact information. Call him now. But now you're absolutely right, guys. At this point, now I think it needs a three-way call to do that, though.
It might. It gives you some gravity, but also, and it gives weight to the we. But by the same token, like, have you mentioned to this guy that you've done a bunch of these already? Like,
yeah,
you're not a rube, right? Like, the property's not worth that. Like, buddy, I've bought 4 of these things this year. It's not worth what you're asking. Like, I can't make the numbers work. It's not worth it. And I'm going to walk away from the deal. The best I can do is this. Like, not as obnoxiously as I say it, obviously, but.
No, I know. The thing is, though, is that every deal I go into, every lead I come across, I send him an email that Scott gave me of the 14 facilities that he owns. Okay, he owns them all or whatever, but I'm his partner, so therefore I can kind of use it like that. I'm like, here's what we got. We're not fucking around. Sorry, guys, but we know what we're doing. Therefore, we're legitimate. And they still think that we're like stupid or something, Just like, I don't get it. I mean,
yeah, talk is cheap. At the end of the day, it's, I have the cash. Do you want it or not?
Yeah.
And you just got to figure out, like, it's worth more to them than it is to you. And that the disconnect is going to stay there until the guy has a reason. He has a pain or something to let it go. Like, he's shopping it for a reason. So what's the reason?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that he's going to tell you, because it sounds like he's playing games.
Yeah. I don't like dealing with people like that. It's all, it's just, it's not their problem. It's not their problem. It's not a win-win situation with that. So I just kind of, as much as I like doing, much as I want a storage facility, I had a
just the fact that it's a saturated market and that the guy's asking for retail for a fixed up property. He's asking for retail. Huge red flag. He's fudged his numbers. You don't know what the real income is. You don't know what the real expenses are. He's making up projections. he's getting market rate for the property. Like if you run, just do the math for him, like make it real easy to say, listen, you have this many 10 by 10s, this many 10 by 12s, this many big 20 by 10s. These are the rents in your market at market rate right now today. They're going to go down because it's a saturated market. If you're 85% occupied, this is your NOI, period.
Yeah.
I called the county. These are your taxes, period. I called XYZ, my insurance company. This is what the insurance is going to cost, period. So I know your numbers aren't right. I have to do the deal off the numbers.
Yeah. And by the way, this also concerns people in the residential side too, especially if you're doing multifamilies. You will get people who will, you know, not tell you the true numbers or exaggerate numbers, you know, and you will get people who are very honest and very straightforward, you know, and to what Andy was saying, that apartment complex that we're buying right now, right outside of Rochester and Greece there, that area over there. We had that exact same conversation and he agreed because we went over the numbers. We explained everything. He's just like, you know, you're right. And, you know, so we gave him a fair number. He thought it was fair and we're moving forward. Okay. And again, and this also pertains to single family houses. I mean, I did that even to break, because Gabe's talking about the storage unit. I just mentioned an apartment complex. And then today I had the exact same conversation on that house in Greece that I talked about at the very beginning over here. I went over the numbers with the guy and he wanted somewhere right around, you know, close to 70,000, was it $65,000 or $70,000. And then we, after talking and showing him the numbers, it was very reasonable. You know,
I got a question, Gabe, too, to Joe's point. Yep. Is there a bird dog you could get in Nebraska in that neighborhood to just drive the property and see how many padlocks are actually on the doors?
Scott's got one.
Get the bird dog to take a drive out there and freaking count the number of padlocks. See if the guy's bullshitting on his income number too.
Yep. Okay.
yeah. Others, anyone have anything they want to add on to that? First of all, did we answer your question, Gabe?
Yes, you did, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Anyone else have any questions, anything that they'd like to ask? I told you this is very informal tonight because we have a small group. So what do you got? All right. I'm going to go over a couple things here. And by the way, the stuff I'm going to go over, people have been calling me about. So don't be afraid to interject or even expand on that. Okay. There's been a lot of people that have been freaking out, wondering what type's going on with the market, which we've touched upon over the last few months. People freaking out over, oh my God, interest rates are going up. What's happening with the market? Are they still going to sell? And then there's people freaking out because the end of the year is coming and they haven't gotten their goals yet, or they haven't gotten where they wanted to be yet. And then then they want to figure out what they want to do for the new year. Okay. And which was kind of a mouthful and a lot. So we're going to talk about this here for a little bit here, but for me personally, and Gabe talked about it too, if I'm buying stuff right now, I'm buying stuff on prices that I think are going to be 6-8 months from now. I'm not, and I don't care if you're doing storage, I don't care if you're doing single family house, I don't care if you're flipping, if you're wholesaling, if you're buying and holding and renting, whatever it is you're doing. Okay. For me, that's my safety net. I mean, interest rates went up again today. You know, they're probably going to go up, or this, I know it went up 0.5 point. Probably going to do it again in January. And I mean, Andy's really up on all that. His brain is unbelievable when it comes to that kind of stuff. But you know, some people have been really nervous about pulling the trigger on properties. Okay, and it doesn't matter if the market's up, if the market's down, sideways, or record is there. It's all going to you know, be based on the prices. Okay. for me, I'm not gonna buy, if I buy something, I either want it to be a home run or at least get me to third base. Getting the first base or second base on a deal, that's me. Okay, doesn't have to be you. But for me right now, to me, that's way, way too risky, cutting it extremely tight and too close on numbers. Okay. So, I mean, are some people on this? Has anybody actually walked away from a deal because they weren't too sure where the market was going to be 3, 4, 5 months from now? Anybody on here? We either have some brave people here.
I haven't walked away yet, but definitely apprehensive of, to your point, like what's it gonna look like? Like what is the number in 5 months? Like that's just, you know, the scary part.
It definitely is.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
I don't, yeah,
What?
I don't look at it as, so as long as the numbers work, it should be fine. Time in the market beats timing the market. So let's say let's say you bought a house today and let's say you waited and you bought it next year, you would have made a bunch of money this year that more than pays for waiting for either prices to go down or interest to go down. And you can always refinance. So, the Fed was talking about that they're almost at the breaking point, which means that they shouldn't be going up much more. But you never know. We could be back to the 18-19% interest rates again, but I doubt it. So and if you thought of it that way, if you bought at the interest rate, then the interest rate would be lower. Either way, you win buying now, because either the rate's going to go lower, or if you wait, it's going to go higher. If it goes lower, you refinance. If it goes higher, you won. So I don't see it as a problem, as long as the numbers work. And you can also use the interest rate against the price and say, hey, look, your neighbor down the street sold their house for X amount of money, but that was at a 3% interest rate. Well, interest rates are higher for the same amount of buying power. It's yours is now only you got to drop 50 grand off that, or whatever it was. Plus people have jumped off the market now, so you have a little bit more power to get the price to come down. So.
Yeah.
Going from 3% to 7.25% interest doubles your monthly payment.
Yeah.
So it's literally 43% of your buying power that evaporates at this point in the game. So housing values have to drop. Everything has to drop. And deflation is going to be our best friend in the first 6 months of the year next year. Like if it actually happens, it will be a good thing, because it needs to happen. People are talking about it like it's the end of the world, but it really does. We really do need deflation. Just like real estate made a ton of money in the last 5 years. Great time to be in real estate. Record time to be in real estate. But anybody who is in real estate for any period of time who thought that a 43% increase in property values between the summer of 2019 and today was a good thing that was going to last is out of their effing minds. They are completely clueless. And if they're saying that their things are not going to drop, they are wrong, and stop listening to what they say.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that when the market goes down, our business goes up. Okay. It goes up because we're there to solve a problem for these people. Some of these people, they just need to get out, and they're thankful to find somebody like, people like us, cash buyers, wholesalers, investors, whatever that it is there. They're going to be looking for us. And it's not about going in there to take advantage of them. It's not meant to be that way. It's just that some of these people are very, very thankful. My business during the last craziness that happened with real estate, my business took off because there weren't enough buyers, and the people were just like, please listen, I put all this money down, but I want to save my credit. I want to be able to move on, I'll sell you what I owe on it. And there's still enough of a spread on that property, or better yet, which one of the things I was going to talk about is you better start getting good at learning about short sales, because short sales are going to start increasing.
Oh yeah.
And so the thing is, what in especially when the market's like this, okay, there's two types of people: the people who are anticipating and the people who are reacting. If you're reacting, you're in trouble, because you're not going to be able to catch up. Okay.
Yep.
When you're anticipating, you are automatically starting to figure out, okay, I'm ahead of the game. I got to know what I got to do. If you're anticipating, you're all right. You're already getting prepared, because deals are going to come. Whether you have to go and get put money aside, whether you have to get lines of credit, whether you're saying no to this one deal, saying no to the good to get to the great. Okay. And if you're constantly reacting, especially in your real estate business, that means you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. There's still people making money in real estate. Tons of people making money. Okay. And there's tons of people who aren't making money, obviously, because they're buying wrong. At the same time, if you're anticipating, that means you're staying up with what's been going on. Okay. I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the world, believe me. Okay. At the same time, you do this long enough and you stay focused enough, you're going to start to see certain things happen, and you kind of, you're not going to have a crystal ball. At the same time, I am very careful about what I buy. Okay. It served me well. And, but other people have, different real estate goals, than the rest of us. And it's okay. Okay. But one of the things that I tell people is, because, we're doing a short sale right now in Henrietta. And of course, the price came in too high, because, they had it appraised, and they obviously they were going off some of the higher numbers, of course. But for those of you who don't know how to do short sales, if you don't know what it is, we can talk about that too if you want. But start finding out about them if you don't know them. There's some really great opportunities, and it's a great way to help people who are underwater. Okay. The house that we're buying, I think they owed, I think they were over $200,000+. Now the bank came down to $112,000. We were trying to buy it for 60. We figured they'd bring us up to 80, maybe 90. They went to 112. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. But thing is that if you learn about it and you know what's going to happen, you're going to be anticipating. And you'll be able to actually, if you go to a house, which you may not think may not be a deal. And by the way, learning short sales, when you get that property, you can either buy it to hold it, to rent out, you can flip it, you can do whatever you want. You want to move in, so you can do whatever you want to do with it. Okay. So learning about short sales, or learning what is going to be happening, especially over the next few months, it's very crucial, because a lot of these people who overpaid for their houses, which a lot of them did, some of them are going to be losing their jobs, unfortunately. And they're going to need to get rid of their properties. Okay. So get in front of what's going to be happening here. And by the way, anybody want to add on to this? I want to be talking this whole time here. I know it's a small group.
Can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
I just kind of want to simplify this for I think everyone here. And so people freak out when the real estate market, people freak out when the market itself is going haywire, doing these things. So in my past experience in my former life in restaurant, this is how I equate it to. Real estate, what we're doing now, all of us are doing now, is business. Okay. So in my restaurant business, we have a calendar year from January to December, right? So let's just say from like May all the way to pretty much October, November, we were slammed. We were busy. We were making money. We were making a lot of capital, and we put our money to the side. We know anticipation. We know that after come January 1, it drops like a cliff. Like business goes down like 30, like forget about it. It's dead. So if you don't have enough cash reserves, or if you don't have enough anticipation to counteract, because I know there's a lot more moving parts. We got payroll, cost of goods sold, insurance, taxes, all that stuff that we got to pay for, but, and if we don't, again, we're not reacting to it, we're anticipating it. And we're still coming out ahead come, February, March, April, the next quarter of that year, because we haven't, we anticipate all that stuff. That's how we do it. And it's just like any business though. I don't know how much simpler it can get. You need to adjust and counteract and adapt to the way business is going to move. The market goes to shit. So what? It goes to shit. Anticipate it. It's just as simple as that. I'm not trying to dumb it down. I'm not trying to say everyone here doesn't know what they're doing. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just trying to make it, I guess, in simpler terms so people can maybe better understand, and hopefully will, have a better sense of how the business is. Business is business.
And if you're in it for the long haul, like if you're a buy and hold investor, property values go down doesn't necessarily mean your rents go down. So all you do is you go doing a tax assessment challenge in January in the city, and you lower your assessed taxes for the following however many years. They open the period up every year, but they only raise them every 4 in Rochester. So, okay, so property value goes down. Go get your assessment challenge done. Lower the value that you're paying on the taxes, and move on. Just check that item off the list of your expenses, and just do it every year until it's until it's where it needs to be. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be terrible. For flippers, life's gonna hurt if they bought high and they can't get out of it in time. Like, that's reality. So maybe there's a plan B there. But it's not the end of the world. You just have to adapt and move on.
So, but anyone have questions on what Andy and Gabe and myself just talked about? We must be answering everybody's questions fantastically tonight.
Yes, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
And
Andy.
What a lovely picture of a picture. Is that actually like a photograph of a picture that was
No,
printed out? Okay, just checking.
Oh my gosh, so funny. So one of the things that I tell people to do also for this year, because look, we're getting toward the end of the year. We got a couple of weeks left, if that. And I tell people, look back on what you did in 2022, see what worked, and then see what didn't work and why. I mean, really figure out why. Okay, we all do it, and I do it. I figure out, okay, why did I lose this deal? Why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen? And like for me, I wanted an apartment complex, and I wanted a storage unit. We got the apartment complex, which we're in the middle of doing whatever we got to do that, and I wanted a storage facility, but I didn't get it because I didn't spend as much time as I should have been spending on it. So at least that way I know, and go back and figure out why you didn't get certain deals. And for me, like the storage, it was because I just wasn't spending enough time. But on some of the other deals, what did I do? What did I not anticipate? What should I have gotten better at? Anybody do that? Don't make me call people out here, because I'll start calling people here. We're gonna have an awkward silence.
Joe, stop threatening people.
Hey, if
It's not
Scott
nice.
was on here, he'd be calling people out left and right. Let me tell you something.
Right? That's crazy. The thing I'll throw out there is, since it's the end of the year, people are talking about what they got, what they didn't get. Like, typically, I think Joe LaBarbera is already working in like March and December, right? March, April.
My end of the year starts October 1st. October 1st, my brain is January 1st of the following year.
I figured you were 4 months ahead. So yeah, that makes
100%.
sense. Yeah. So, what I can tell you is that operators who are planning on holding are doubling down, because now they're looking at properties that maybe they thought about refinancing and getting out of, or refinancing and putting money away, but you're talking about their monthly payment doubling versus what their holding is right now. So they're looking at other things. So I've seen a huge uptick in my business of people looking to cut their expenses so they can raise their NOI without having to raise rents or fire people or any of that other stuff. So in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten calls from all over the country, and I'm actually meeting with a guy from Chicago who's got 312 doors, and I think his biggest is 101 units in one complex. He's got a ton of single family rentals. He's got a bunch of like quads and 6-ups all scattered around Northeast Chicago. So like his goal is to find 6 figures in cuts that he can make, and it's going to be a little harder for him because it's tough to scale when stuff is scattered all over the place. But he's looking for a way to make more money. So if you cut, and here's I guess expenses 101. If you cut your expenses by $1, you're essentially you're raising your NOI by $2 in real estate. And that doesn't include secondary and tertiary and overhead and other stuff that you can add to it. So in a down economy, you look for ways to make money, maybe other than charging more for your services. Do the same thing, do it better, make more money.
Mhm. Who else is going to be doing something a little bit different that they learned from this year? Don't be afraid to put it out there. Well, we got
Since again, please. So I'd like to add on to what you said, though. It's very interesting about how you said, look back to your year, this past year, and see what worked, what didn't work, and what didn't work, what can you make it better. To add to that, in addition to that, that's an awesome way, I think, to make your goals for 2023 as well, or the next year, because I personally, as I said, okay, what didn't I do or what didn't work? And I said, okay, these will be my goals for the next year. For example, I did a ton of wholesaling, and I did a ton of, not a ton of wholesaling. I made a lot of calls and I did a lot of things like that for wholesaling this year. But a couple people who have brought it to my attention, and I thank you for that, Joe Lamera, one of them, said to me, it's now time to start building wealth. And I decided that, if I may share with you guys, that the core of my business is always going to be wholesaling. I love it. It's a blast. That's my core. But I want to pepper it with a few buy and holds and flips in storage, mind you, and I want it. So like I said, my next 2 deals will be wholesale. And then for the next year, I want to find 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, whether I'm an equity partner, whether I'm going to hold it for a year or 2 or 2 years or more, whatever I'm going to do, depending on because each property is unique in its own separate way. We're going to look and say, okay, what can we do with this property? And then from there, we're going to start building because my foundation is already established. All right. So now I'm going to start building, and here comes the Legos, right now, that's going to be my goal to see each and every property, what we're going to do with it this coming year. And I'm still going back, to what didn't work to try to add to that list of my goals. And so I'm like halfway down with my goals for 2023 for that. So, it's good.
That's fantastic, Gabe. And by the way, looking back on what did work and what didn't work, it's most of the time when people write their goals down, people hate doing goal setting. They hate it. Most people lie. It's true statistical fact, because they know they're going to lie. Now, when you go back to see what did work and what didn't work, it's not really about goal setting. Realistically, you are, but you're trying to figure out what didn't work and what did work that will get you to whatever it is you were looking to get in the first place. Okay. Some people, they're like, because it's one thing to write down goals, But most people are like, okay, I wrote the goals down, but they need the practical application. They need to be able to figure out how the heck to get to those goals. Everybody can write down goals, but very few people go about the business of actually learning what they need to do to get there. Okay. And I think by going back and looking, they're like, okay, this didn't work. I didn't do this. I would have, could have, should have, and everything else. You get mad at yourself, do whatever you got to do. Just, you know, if you're going to get pissed off about it or get mad, just do something about it. You know, we all get the phone calls, you know, I should have done this, I should have done that. Okay, great. Do it on the next deal. Or do it, you know, if this happens again, you know exactly what's gonna happen. So 2023 is going to be a huge change for a lot of people. And everybody wants new year, new you, new this, go to the gym, blah, 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 all that other stuff. When you take everything that's going on, okay, and unfortunately, all the layoffs are going to be happening. There are people who are going to be looking for all of us. They're literally going to be looking and praying. They won't be able to sleep. They want to be able to take care of their families. They got to feel, oh my God, how am I going to, what's going to happen if I lose my house? I got my kids, the school, blah, blah, blah. And they can't sell the property. They can't call somebody. They want to keep it private. Okay. So for me, when I see the new year, I see all these different components happening all at once. So it's not just about me and, you know, can you segment it down? Yes, I'm not that type of person. I just take everything as a whole. And I'm like, all right, what do I got to do? What didn't I do last year to figure out what I want to get this year? Okay. And by the way, anyone want to share any of their goals or anything that they'd like to do for next year?
Yeah, Joe, I think for me, I just want to put in more offers. I just want to run the numbers, or maybe just run the numbers more and just get really good at that. And then, you know, put in a good offer and see what happens. Because I've been kind of, not doing enough marketing, not telling enough people what, you know, I tell you guys, but not enough other people what I'm going to do. So that's my goal for this year, is just keep looking, maybe write more letters, you know, drive by, see other properties that look like they need help. So just do more of that is my goal.
You know, I tell people, I have a saying, a house a day keeps a creditor at bay or away, which means you call, talk, go to see, do something with a house every single day, whatever it is. Contact a real estate agent, call somebody off an ad, call whatever, if he's some for sale. Eventually, I don't care how hard you try not to, if you just call on one house a day, that's what, 365 days in a year, 365 houses. I don't care how hard you try not to, you're going to find a deal. Okay. Even just one. Okay. So a house a day keeps a creditor at bay. Okay, did I call on a house? Did I talk to somebody about a house? Did I look at a house? Did I walk through a house? Did I do something? No? Make a phone call. Okay. And I'm not yelling at you, Diane, either, by the way.
No,
myself and everybody.
I know I need to do it more of it. Instead of think about it, I need to do it. So that's me. I will.
I know you will. I know you will. Who else here? Who's got, come on, don't be afraid here. This is a very close group here tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm, you know, as I was stabilizing my houses over this last year, so I didn't buy anything this year. Next year I plan on buying a bunch. So, you know, hopefully double my portfolio. So right now I have 17 units, so, you know, not super hard to double it. So, but it's, you know, a reasonable goal.
That is very reasonable. If you're doing, you're talking about 17 more units or 17 more properties?
17 more units, or hopefully to go more than that, but you know, we'll see as you know.
Yeah, that's only it's only a few 2 families, or you can do a few 3s and 4s, or you can do it all at once.
Right.
That is
Yeah,
not
most-
very hard at all.
Mostly between 2s and 4s, so, so yeah, it shouldn't be too hard at all.
One every 6 to 8 weeks.
It's the plan.
Perfect. Anyone else? By the way, anyone have any questions about what we've been talking about? I know we've been all over the place tonight. Everybody's good?
I think you should give them a book assignment, Joe. What book are they going to read for January 2023 to start the year off right? What's it going to be? Think and Grow Rich? Is it going to be, I mean,
The book that has made me the absolute most money I've ever, in the, oh my God, I have to be, I have to be in the 7 figures. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
there you go.
That book
Dale Carnegie.
is an unfreaking. I read the original when they first. I found an original and I started reading. I was like, holy crap! And it was just fantastic. I love that book, and I learned a lot from it. I still use it till today.
Yep.
And every millionaire that I've ever met has read that book.
Yep.
I've never once had a millionaire say to me, no, I never read that book. And prior to even making money, I saw these people reading the book. I'm going, if they're reading it, I gotta read it.
Yep.
And by the way, you can listen to it on YouTube for free.
It's awesome.
Free. If you can't do free, you're lazy. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I'll definitely do that. But if everybody's all set, we're gonna cut this short. Actually, oh man, we're gonna cut this
We're right
short.
on time anyway, so not that short.
Oh man. Listen, everybody, thank you for joining. I hope you guys have a really great Christmas. We're gonna start the new year again, first Thursday of January, which is gonna be, I don't know, the 5th or the 6th of January.
No, not even. I don't think. I think it's earlier.
Well, New
think it's
Year's
the
First is
fourth,
a
isn't it?
Monday. The first is a Monday, so it'd be the 4th.
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
the 4th. Well, let's get started for the New Year's, and everybody, thank you very much. Have a very Merry Christmas. Have a safe New Year's, and go do some real estate. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. You guys.
Thank you.